Hello, we're live. Ooh, wrong screen. Must be rusty. First day back and all. Welcome to the live stream where we go rust or we go bust. It's the first episode in this week-long experiment where I check out Rust and we see what we're doing. Yeah, that's it. Rust or bust, baby. We'll see how this goes. We'll see how we feel. And we'll go from there. But welcome to the stream. I'm glad to be back streaming. It has been 3, 4, 5 weeks. It's been weeks because I got COVID and then I was on vacation for 2 weeks. So glad to be back. Glad to be doing some rusty stuff. Let me just shove this in my ear hole so I can hear things. And let's start. So I'm using this course that's called Learn Rust from Scratch. And it is, I haven't done anything except from skip the introduction because nobody cares. Essentially, it's a text-based course versus doing video courses or anything like that. This just allows me to continue to do the things I'm doing while also chatting to you guys and not get a copyright strike or be in trouble for doing something. So anyway, so click this. Apparently executes code when you click this run button. It tells you hello world. Rust code always starts with .rs extension. So there we go. So let's look at the autonomy of hello world programs, which we can look at here, which essentially just says this is a main function, fn main, and then we print a line. Just a bit of background, I am a TypeScript developer now, but in my many years past, I was also a JavaScript developer, a Java developer, and a Go developer. So some of this is going to be fairly transposable. Like I'll be able to transplant some of the standard like type safety stuff and some other stuff. So we'll see how this goes. The main function is the beginning of every Rust program. This line declares the function name main and takes no arguments and returns nothing. If their arguments were present, they would be passed in within the round brackets. Here, the function body starts with an open curly brace. The second line prints hello world. This is print line. This is what's going to be printed. Semicolon is optional and at the end of the last expression, so semicolons will be included everywhere. Hello print line macro takes a string. Am I actually... 1 second. I have to check. Is this actually going to... Yes, okay. Good news. Sweet. All right, so here the print line macro takes the string hello world and displays it on the screen. This line ends with a semicolon, which indicates the expression is over and the next one is ready to begin. The function body ends with a curly and curly brace. Anything declared in here is a block of code. We all know that. A macro is an expression that has an exclamation mark before the parentheses, i.e. macro name exclamation point. They're used for meta programming because we need more meta in my life. Meta all the things, meta frameworks, all the metas. Okay. They look like functions in other system programming like C or C++, but instead of generating function calls like functions, they are expanded into source code that gets compiled and the rest of the program. In this way, they provide more runtime features. So meta programming, macro, compiler expands, source code, compiled code. Got it. Rust provides us with some built-in macros. Click this link. New tab created. Many macros. All the macros. Things like format and file. And eprint, which standard print error. Okay. It's a bunch of stuff. Got it. For now, information above will suffice, but more details on macros will be covered in the advanced course of Rust, which I imagine you have to pay for. This is a 100% free course. I'll put a link in the description for people watching after the live stream. If you want it, I can throw it in the chat. What is the keyword to run a function? It's this button. Click. What's the following of this? Error. A semicolon can only be omitted at the end of the last statement only. Ta-da! Does it actually say that up here? The line ends with a semicolon. The semicolon is optional at the end of the last expression only. Okay. Cool. Marked as complete. Bam. Already think I'm good to go. You have a free course on Rust? No. I don't have. How much further do you want me to zoom in? I'm at like 150 right now. I'm going to go blind. You have a free course? No, but I'm using a free course on... Here is the... Oh, no, I'm on the wrong computer. I don't have one, but there is a free course on this website right here called Learn Rust from Scratch. Okay. I've never written a line of Rust in my life. I've written other lines of code, but never in Rust. In the previous lesson, we could print a string to the console, but what if we wanted to print strings in a particular format? Rust can use placeholders. Print line, macro, placeholder notation, placeholder value. In Rust, we cannot directly print numbers or variables with print line macro. Unlike other languages, we need a placeholder. A single placeholder is used when it's required to print a single value. What's around this? Output is number, and then 1 gets inserted into there. Got it. Multiple placeholders. You can use multiple placeholders within a print line. The number of placeholders could equal the number of values printed. So 1, 2, and then 1, 2, and that'll print. This website is a software company. Cool. Positional arguments specify the position of values in a sentence. Each value is assigned to a number based on the order of occurrence. The first value is assigned to 0. The next is 1, and so on and so forth. The placeholder takes an integer positive number greater than or equal to 0, which indicates the value to be inserted into the placeholder. Okay, so this basically allows you to do this. Will get inserted here, and here, and then here. Got it. Execute that. Cool. A placeholder can take named arguments as an assignment, which is similar to like templating in JavaScript or Typescript, where you can just essentially stuff in with templates and you just stick the stuff in there. Let's run that real quick. And it's the same kind of idea. This company goes here, this kind goes there. If we want to convert the value to binary or hexadecimal or octal, write this, this, or this in the placeholder for the binary, hexadecimal, or octal respectively, and then value specify the numbers. You can use all three of them or one of them in a single expression. Okay, so number 10, binary, hexadecimal, and octal. Run. This all seems to make sense, although this is scary. Who wants to play around with octals and hexadecimals? We can perform basic mathematics and the placeholder gets replaced with the result. So 10 plus 10 equals 10 plus 10. Ta-da! That's pretty cool. Placeholder for debug traits. It is possible to mark multiple values with a single placeholder with the help of a debug trait, a colon followed by a question mark. This prevents having to write a placeholder for each value. You can use debug trait and write as many values decided in parentheses. So this is this course and this. So this will just print both of those out. Interesting. Test your understanding. Okay. Enhance your coding skills from interactive courses. This one. Boop. All right. What is the output of the following code? Print line 21. Right? Yeah. Now you've learned the basics. Let's learn about different printing styles in the next lesson. Yeah, a lot of printing for the first, I don't know, however long I've been live for. I don't know, period of time. But yeah, that seems like a lot. Printing seems like a bit of an aggressive start point. Do I really care about the difference between these? I suppose so. The table summarizes the macros used to print in Rust. Rust print, okay, prints the string to the console. This does this, but also adds a new line. Print anything within the parentheses as an error. This does it, but adds a new line. So these are all same things. So this will just print Rust programming course with a space, all on one line. And then the same for this, but there'll be a new line. This will be an error, which you wouldn't know except from it's obviously got a round. What's this learning resource? This learning resource is called Educated. It has a bunch of like free cool. I don't even know if it's any good. I just was like, let me there you go. There's the actual URL. I just picked it out because it was a free Rust course, and I don't know anybody else that has a Rust course. So I was like, well, this'll do for this week. It could be good. It could be terrible. They also could have a lot of terrible stuff. I don't know anything about them. This is the first time I've ever heard of them or ever seen anything on them. I don't normally do any tutorials or like courses outside of like some basic stuff, and then I'm usually good. Which of the following appends a new line to the output? These two. Which of the following used to display an error? These two. Which of the following at the output? Learning language, Rust, programming language. And there'll be no spaces because there's no spaces. Have you looked at the official book a bit? That seems fine, but in my opinion, a bit strange. What browser is this? Where are the VOD videos? Did you delete everything? What VOD videos are you talking about? This browser is called Arc by the browser company, which is basically just Chrome, except from it just has some like ability to like get rid of everything and also do new tabs like this. No, it's built into Arc. So like it's called arc.net, I think is what they put it under. It's this, which is by the browser company. It's like invite only, I think, at the moment still. Let's see. Yep, it's still invite only, but it's really good. It's got some really nice features. I use it because it's just easier for like this. Getting rid of this, having this here, being able to just do like everything from command line is really nice. I can bring this back if I want, or I can get rid of it. It just gives me more space. Yeah. And someone's asking about VODs, but I don't know what VODs you're talking about. I need you to tell me which VODs. Because I haven't been live in like 5 weeks, so yeah, it's super nice. It has some really good features too. Like by default, it blocks all like tracking and like ads and stuff, so I don't get ad pop-ups, which is super nice. When you go to localhost, I don't know if I have anything open. I don't have anything open right now. But when you go to like localhost 3000, it opens like a special top level where you can basically access a bunch of stuff. It's really good. Would recommend like getting on their wait list. It's free, obviously. And they're like building all the features you want. Oh, and it also has like YouTube built in like mini players. 2 dev 1 editor, like I haven't worked live on 2 devs 1 editor for a while. So like none of all the VODs that are there are the VODs that are there. That's like all I've done. I've been like sick for like 2 weeks, 3 weeks. I was traveling for like 3 other weeks. So yeah, like I haven't been live. This is the first time I've been live in like 5 weeks. So yeah, the VODs have not gone anywhere. They're still there. Those are only the VODs that we have right now. Comments in Rust. Line comments, block comments, they're all the same. Doc comments. Outer doc comments are written on the outside of a code block. This is the comment spots markdown notation. This is to generate docs referring to the following item. And then inner docs are written inside the block of code. This comment style is used to generate docs referring to the item within the block code. Okay. This is a line. Submit. Doc comment. Submit. Those are easy. But to be clear, like 2 devs, 1 editor, I just back to 2 devs, 1 editor. Like I've written, I don't know, like 10,000 lines of code or some ridiculous number. It's definitely coming. Let's see. Is this the latest? Nope, that's not the right one. Like there is a lot of code in there. Like I updated it 3 days ago. There is like, I don't know, this many components right now. And then there's like, I don't know, a bunch of hooks that I written. Like there's a lot in here. So it's definitely coming. I just haven't streamed it for a while because like I haven't had time and I've been sick. So that's why I've written a lot of it off camera because I've been super sick. So at some point, I will do a live stream again. It'll probably be in the new year once like everything's settled back down, and that I'll go over everything that has been done. If you follow me on Twitter, you'll see posts about 2 devs, 1 editor like at least once a week. You have to print the following statement in the console. I'm learning Rust programming language. Please use only the above string for your solution. If you use any of these, the subset will fail. Okay, so you just want to do print. And then I am learning. I'll just copy and paste this up. Test. Did I put the macro in the right place? Yes, I did. Okay. That was easy. Okay. Solution. Blah, 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 blah. Explanation. On line 2, the statement I am is placed within the parentheses of the print macro. The output does this. Up. Okay. That was just telling me the answer. The task is display the number. Try one more time. COVID. What is this project? 2 devs, 1 editor. Is that what you're asking about? What's this project? It is a project where basically, I don't think I have it on this computer because I'm using a different computer today. Yeah, okay. I don't have it on here. It's on my other one. Basically, imagine the ability to essentially just set up a room with another developer and have like a Visual Studio Code that you guys can share, and you can basically work together, co-working. And in the future, you'll be able to essentially ask an expert in some field to book time with them and pay them X dollars and be able to have their attention and like basically share code and like do everything sort of like Google Meet, but like with an actual editor. How is Rust so far? It just feels like I'm back 15 years in my career and doing Java. It's good. Good so far. Okay. There's a test function given in the code for testing purposes. Do not modify. Okay. Do we need to just print? Did you just want me to print a number? Like so. But there was also something about like, is this what you want? I didn't know what you want from me. Also, my brain doesn't retain a lot of information. Is this what you want? Oh, wait, hold on. Gotta remember those semicolons. Okay, you might be missing a string little format. I remember reading about this. It's somewhere over here. Let's go back. Yeah, you have to do this annoying thing. Okay. Is that project open sourced? No. Most definitely not open sourced. Maybe in the future? Unlikely. Unless, like, I don't know. It just wouldn't make... So, no, because there's going to be, like, money involved. So, just like my other SASs, they probably won't. I can't find your old VODs, and the old one with clerks, TTS, almost... Hold on, one thing at a time. Yeah, I don't know about the VODs. Honestly, it's been so long. It may... I was streaming directly on YouTube for a while, so they may be in the live section. If they're not, I don't know. To the answer to the question about does Rust require semicolons? Yes, except from the last line. Apparently. Do you have any other projects with custom hooks? What did I mess up here? Oh, because I'm using the word number in here. Do I have any projects with custom hooks? No, but I could, I suppose. Do I need to just do this? Is this what you wanted? Do you have any projects with custom hooks? No, but I'll write it down. Hold on. Let me actually write it down. Write it down right now. Here we go. Notion. Video list plus custom hook video. Cool. Done. I've added it to the list. The list is quite long right now. I'm literally banging out videos at like 1 or 2 a day right now. So, and then live streaming all the time. It feels good to be back. I've been so sick and so annoyed. Well, I didn't do that, so that's interesting. I didn't use 4 or 5 placeholders. I just did it without. So, meh. Okay, what are variables? Well, variables are like a storage box, paired with an associated name that contains some sort of data. They're immutable by default, meaning you cannot reassign the value. To create a variable, use let bindings followed by the variable name. Okay. By convention, you would write the variable name in snake case, i.e. blah, 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 blah. All letters should be lowercase. All words should be separated with an underscore. And to initialize a variable, you should do this. Let language name equals this, and then a semicolon. It is possible to declare the variable first and assign it to a value later. However, it's not recommended to do this as it may lead to uninitialized variables. Thank you for following. Also, get banned. All at the same time. That's pretty good. Banned. Woo! I want to ask you if you'll do some tutorial on Superbase. What would you like to know about Superbase? What would you like to know about Superbase? I imagine whoever is the person that's commenting about the whole point of Rust, I imagine the further you go down in this very rudimentary like Rust thing, that will probably change. I imagine this is like bullshit. It's just the same as any other language. Like I declare variables all the time in JavaScript. I did the same in Java. So some integration-based projects. I mean, I have plans to do a Clerk plus Superbase video. That's a project at some point. If that's what you're asking, yes, it is indeed on the list. It's going to be like a multi-part probably video, 20 minutes at a time. Just because like they seem to perform better than doing my usual like 2-hour videos. So yes, there are plans to do some stuff around that. Just like numbers is not possible, blah, blah, blah. Yep, okay. What if you want to make a variable mutable? At the beginning of the session, it mentioned that variables are immutable until you want to make a change in the variable. Then it can be mutable. Just write the word let followed by mute and then the variable name. So this is Rust, and then this is now Java, and we're done. Okay. And then the guy don't use an variable at compile time. Oh, well, it's a beginner's guide. Yeah, it's like super basic beginner's guide, like way down. So like the whole point is that I don't know Rust, but I do know like a bunch of other compiled languages. So I thought it'd be fun to do for a week while I recover from COVID and like try and remember how to program instead of my normal TypeScript stuff that we do. Yeah, I assumed that the compiler would just yell at you for uninitialized variables at compile time, and then you just either fix the problem or you delete the variable that you're not using. Like other good languages. If a variable is kept unassigned or unused, you'll get a warning. To remove such a warning, write this at start a program. However, it's not good practice to use unassigned variables. Rustling's course. Yo, just drop a link. This is what happened, right? I said Rust or bust last week. And then I Googled free Rust course. And then this came up and it was like 9 hours long. And I was like, perfect. This will be enough time for me to go through and be like, this was fun for a week or two. But I'm happily will look at other courses. I'll even buy a course if it's decent. And as long as it's not a video course, then we're good. Which is not a property of a default. This. Mutability. Which of the following can make it mutable? This one. Yeah. Plus, I get to do a real basic course. Makes me feel really smart for a day because I am smart. And then later on, I can feel dumb when I have to write really hard production code. And that's how it goes. So, yeah. Scope and shadowing. The scope of variable. The scope of variable is the visibility of a variable and which parts of the program can access it. It all depends on where the variable is declared. If it's declared inside the curly braces, it's a block of code. It's scope restricted within the braces. Otherwise, it is a global. Local variable is in the block of code. Global variable. Okay. Local variable. Hello. Seems like interactive astrodocs. Yeah, I think that like probably. Okay. This gives you an error because this is inside the block. Got it. Okay. Run this code. This error message. Use of inner outside of scope. A local variable with synonym exists. Aborting due to previous errors. For more information about this error, type this in. Cool. To fix this error, there's a variable declaration can move outside of the inner block of code. That way the scope of the variable spans the entire function. Got it. Now if I run this, it's like Python notebook, forgot what they called. This yeah, it's whatever they call that. You're right. Juniper notebooks? No, that's not it, right? I don't know. Something notebooks, always. Who writes in Python anyway? Typescript or nothing? Oh, I'm sorry. Wait. Got to change my persona for the week. Rust or bust. There we go. Did it. Variable shadowing is a technique in which the variable declared within a certain scope has the same name as a variable declared in the outer scope. This is also known as masking. The outer variable is said to be shadowed by the inner variable, while the inner variable is said to mask the outer variable. Oh yeah, okay, cool. I thought it was that, but then I was like, nah, that doesn't sound like the right name. This is the outer, this is the inner. If we print it here, it would be 9. If we print it here, it would be 12, I assume. Right? Yeah. Okay, cool. Variable cannot be accessed outside of the scope. True. Seems like a weird question. The compile time error. Yeah, a variable that takes the same name in the inner block as the variable in the outer block. The concept is called shadowing. See, it says shadowing here, but it also says shadowing in big letters, and then underneath it says this is also known as masking. Which one is it? Which one is it? According to the person in chat. Oh, we were so close. Juniper is like the fruit seed? I don't know. Juniper wine. That's a thing, I think. Okay. What am I supposed to be doing here? Declare an X variable and store the value of 1000 in it. Declare a Y variable and store programming in it. Print the value of X and Y. Change the value of X to 1100. Print the value of X and Y. Okay, so let equals, and then let Y equals programming with a capital P, and then right there you go. See, boop 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 boop. X. I imagine I can just do that. Make this Y, make this Y, and then make this like this. I imagine that will just work. I legit forgot to put semicolons everywhere. As a man who writes JavaScript every day, or TypeScript, and also puts hello. What was I supposed to write? Did I just not? Oh. Oh wait, there's a no space semicolon. Helps you read instructions sometimes. Yeah, I put semicolons everywhere. There we go. But apparently when I write this, I forget. So, yeah. I do like this. This is nice. Hear me out, right? I know you just got the answer correct and you're like, oh yeah, I just got the answer correct. But also, it's kind of nice if you just accidentally get the answer correct and you actually don't know what you're doing. Because we've all done that in coding, right? Where we're just like, yeah, we did it, everybody. And then like, you're like, oh man, don't know what I'm doing. How do you get good at JavaScript? Write it forever. Like every day. All day, every day. And then write some more. And then if you're into it, write a blog post or two about whatever you've just learned. And then you should be pretty good. That's my opinion. That's how you get good. You just write it a lot. Like a lot. Like so much, write so much that you think you're writing too much and then you're writing enough. That's basically how it works. I think I've written JavaScript now or TypeScript. I guess it depends on what you're... But I wrote JavaScript for like... what year is it now? 12? Probably like 10 years of my career. I've written JavaScript in some nature. And like... Yeah, the more you write, it's just repetition. Same with anything. Like, if I wanted to be actually good at Rust, which, no offense, Rust, but this will probably be the only time I ever touch Rust. Unless, like, somebody comes on and we talk about Rust. It's very unlikely that, like, you'll get good at something if you don't spend time doing it. That's basically what it is. Oh, there's like an I was like, what is happening here? There's like a little interaction. It's going to show me what I just printed. Good job. Good job, machine. Thank you. All right. We're into data types, everybody. We're talking floats and booleans. But yeah, basically... There never was for accidentally writing code that works, but I guess it kind of works. You know what I mean, though, right? Like where you're not 100% sure if something's going to work, and then it works, and you're like, should it work? And then you write a bunch of tests, which some people do, and then you're like, okay, yeah, this does actually work the way I expect it to. My life. That's how I fumbled to get good at everything, was just like write a bunch of stuff all the time. Build hundreds of projects. And not just like, I've written a to-do app 700 times because, like, to-do app is useless. Just write complex. Doesn't matter if it takes you 6 months to write the most complex JavaScript/TypeScript project you've ever done. It's about, like, learning as you go. I can tell you for sure that in 2 devs, 1 editor, there is, like, some code in there where I was like, I don't know if this actually is the way it's supposed to work. When it comes to like video and stuff, because I don't know anything about video. I've never written anything with like video codecs and like streaming video back to the browser without like eating up a bunch of memory. It's pretty wild in there. But yeah, unlike other languages like C++, that's basically it. As a TypeScript programmer, I think you can appreciate the TypeScript in Rust. It's definitely similar in some ways, but also has less pitfalls by virtue of compiler. Yeah. Thanks, person in Twitch chat. Sorry, it was covered up by my YouTube chat. Rust is great. How are you finding it so far? I mean, I'm finding it fine. I wrote Java for like 6 years, so like some of the stuff is fine. And like, yeah, being a TypeScript developer, it sounds like there's a lot of appreciation for like types, which I also appreciate. So yeah, so far so good. You know, it could be worse. I'm not complaining. I would probably complain if I wasn't doing some basic course. I'd probably be like, what the fuck is going on? Which, you know, people have done with Advent of Code. Apparently, the best way to learn Rust is just to run Advent of Code and just write it all in Rust. which is wild, and you're all crazy. Just use TypeScript. Yeah, just use what you know. Okay. Rust can infer the type from the type of the value assigned to the variable. The general syntax is let variable name equals this. But you can also do this, which is like, hey, here's a variable, and this is the data type, and then the value, okay, which is similar to like TypeScript, where you can declare the syntax of what it should be of the type. Primitive types. Rust has a couple of types that are considered primitive. That means they're built into the language. There are different data types used for different purposes. Huh. The following illustration shows the different primitive data types in Rust. Okay, press the play button, everybody. All right, are we done? Is that it? Yes. Okay, so we got compound. This is basically the Rustlings course, learning by doing. Yeah, that's the only way I learn is by doing. Like if I watch a video, like I make video content for a living, and if I watch video content, I learn nothing. So, yeah. But if I read content and then like do something afterwards, I'll immediately learn. Like to give people an idea, I was like terrible at school because I didn't get to do enough doing in my life. So I was just like, high school and like college is boring because I don't understand why we don't teach by doing. So I never learned anything. So, this is the kind of stuff I like to do. Okay, the scalar type stores a single value. Below is the scalar type. Integers, floats, booleans, characters. Yeah, we know those. True and false, char and stuff. Compound type. They're a group, multiple values, which is an array or a tuple. Tuple? Tuple? Okay. Which of these are scalar types? This and this. Boop. False. Boop. I'm so good. I'm so good at quizzes. I'm the quiz master. All right. Numeric types, integers and floats. Integers are data types. What just happened there? That was weird. All right. Anyway, variables of an integer data type hold numbers of values that are two subtypes of integer data type in Rust based on the number of bits occupied by the variable in memory. The fixed integer type has a specific number of bits in their notation. This notation is a combination of the letter and a number. The former denotes the category of integer, whether it is unsigned or signed, and the latter denotes the size of the integer, 8, 16, 32, 64. So this is an 8-bit, this is all signed, and then unsigned 64. The integer type is in which the particular size depends on the underlying machine architecture. So, okay, here's my complaint already. First complaint of the day. It feels like we went from like, hey, this is like really basic programming stuff, to, hey, by the way, do you know about this thing called signed and unsigned and machine architecture? Anyway, back to code. Also, we do learn stuff in college. We learn how to learn in college. We don't actually learn anything of value. They send you, when you go to college, you learn how to learn. That's basically it. The stuff that you actually learn in college is probably outdated for the most part. Even though I have a degree, I do have a CS degree, but still I find that like people learn how to learn in college. I feel like if you want to go to college, go to college. You don't need to go to college, but go to college if you feel like you want to go. The I size is the pointer-sized signed integer type. The U size, the pointer-sized unsigned integer type. Well, there are so many types of integer, and how do you pick the right data type? The choice depends on the values a variable is expected to hold. So a programmer should pick a data type that is not so small the data is lost, nor should they pick one that's so big it wastes memory. Oh, it feels like this again. This is like peak Java. This is like me in Java like 1.4 deciding what size memory to use for certain things. Okay, let's print this. This is explicitly defining an integer. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. The following code implicitly defines the integer type of the variable by assigning an integer value to the variable. Okay. It would be good to show feedback to people that literally are not watching this who create this course. It would have been good to have like done this. It's this type. And then shown the type before, and then people would be like, oh, okay, that's cool. But anyway, floating point numbers refer to numbers with fractional parts. The representation of floating point numbers in the computer's memory is such that the precision with which a number is stored in memory depends on the number of bits used by storing the variable. In this respect, there are two subtypes, single precision, F32, and double, which is F34, with the latter having more bits to store the number. This is 32 and this is 34. Here. It is implicit. Totally get that. But the whole lesson up here was like, here's an explicit definition. And here is the implicit. But they could have just used the same numbers or something. And then shown the types, because they just added this giant number in here, right? Like 34, 34, 34, instead of just using these numbers here, which would then allow you to be like, oh, okay, this is a 64, blah, blah, blah. But anyway, this is a minor complaint in a whole bunch of other stuff. Right, where were we? Here. This tells you it's a 32, and this is a 34. Run. I don't know why I'm clicking run. And then this is just defined by doing stuff. Just let me do it. What is the data type of the variable below? An integer. Which of the following is a correct notation to declare float type variable? Oh, incorrect. Ooh, see? Good reading. I'm good at reading. Now that you've learned the lessons of integers and float data types, let's learn about the Boolean. Boolean variable can be true or false. The following code explains how to define. Okay, the following code explicitly defines the variable using the bool keyword. So let is Boolean bool print this explicitly defined true. Okay, the following code implicitly defines it as value of true or false. And the result of the expressions are like this. Okay, the result of an expression that evaluates to either true or false, for example, comparison of two values, can be assigned to an implicit Boolean variable. So we run this, it should just come out as true. Got it. Which of the following of the output? Let value 13 is greater than 20. False. Did it. Know my number sizes. Okay. The character is used to store a single character value, such as a single digit or a single alphabet. That doesn't feel right. Single letter of the alphabet. What is a single letter of the alphabet? Yeah, okay. Right. Okay. Okay. I feel better. I was like, yeah, I'm like looking at this and I'm like, it's a single letter. Like, what is an alphabet? The single alphabet. A. Thought I was going crazy. But I'm not. It's good news. I'm already that. So technically it's a Unicode code point. Well, you know, sure, but still, a single alphabet is not English. Unlike some other languages, a character in Rust can take up to 4 bytes rather than a single byte. It does this so we can store a lot more of the ASCII values like emojis, Korean, Chinese, and Japanese characters, which I'm all for. The code below is explicit using the char, and then implicit is just defining it. A string is any sequence of characters enclosed in double quotes, which we already knew because we did that like in the getting started section when we printed out hello world. And we can just do this to implicitly define it. More details on strings will be covered in chapter 9 when we get there, which is only like 5 chapters away. What is the output of the following program? Value is string Rust programming. Wait, are they trying to fuck me here? Is it string? Yeah, see, you're trying to get me. There's an error in there. It's none of that at symbol. No, ampersand symbol. One of those. I want to say it's char, but it could have been character. Okay, we're all good. We're all using the same language. What is an array? It's a homogeneous sequence of elements. Okay, that's an interesting way of describing it. Being a compound type, it is used with a collection of values of the same type are stored in a single variable. In Rust, an array can only be a fixed length. Like all other languages, each element, okay, I imagine there's like a tuple or a tuple or whatever we call that word, equivalent. Okay. By default, the first element is always 0. Yep, we know that. That's just thing. By default, arrays are immutable. To define an array in a Rust, we must define the type and size of the array to initialize an array. The array elements are enclosed in square brackets. The following illustration explains the concept. Let name, colon, type, size, and then all your elements. Got it. So here, integer 32, and then there should be 4 elements. 1, 2, 3, 4. Initialize the array of size 4 with 0. Squeeze me. Initialize an array of size 4 with 0. Oh, okay, I see. Got it. The array declared on line 4 declares an element of 1, 2, 3, 4. The array 1 declaration on line 6, which is this one, implicitly determines the data type and string. Yeah, so like ampersand, which is just and by any other name. It determines the data type integer from value 0 and 4 is the size of an array. So this basically becomes an array consisting of 4 zeros. Of course. Any value of the array can be accessed just like any other language by using an index number enclosed with square brackets. How do we make an array mutable? By using the mut or mut keyword after the let. The same goes for an array. Okay. Cool. The whole array can be traversed using a loop or a debug trait. The array, or the debug trait, sorry. The array elements can be traversed using loops, which will be discussed in chapter 7. Okay. By doing this, you get to print them all out. So if I run this, they should print 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Bingo. Get the length of an array using array.len. Okay. Slice is basically a proportion of an array. It lets you refer to the subset of contiguous. The fucking word is that off the top of my head? Memory location. But unlike an array, the size of the slice is not known at compile time. A slice is a 2-word object. The first word is the data pointer, and the second word is the slice length. Data pointer is a programming object that points to the memory location of the data, i.e., it stores the memory address of the data. To declare an array slice, we must specify non-interrupted. I'm sure that was something up here somewhere that we were just talking about. I'm not sure what non-interrupted. To declare an array slice, we need to specify the name of source array, blah, blah, blah. If the range of elements is not specified, it will consider the whole array as a slice. Oh, yes, non-interrupted. I know what the word means. I just don't know the pronunciation today because I'm tired. Yeah, it's almost like C++. Yes. Don't let people in chat that like Rust hear you say that, but yes. Let's see. Let slice this equals this, and then the starting index, and then the second one. All right. So here we go. We've defined a for, and then defined a slice. And then this one, we're saying that this slice should be 0 and 2. So this will give us everything, and this will give us just the first 2. Got it. Cool. Got it. We need this version. Bingo. What's the output? The following code. Okay. Let array is 4, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Let slice is 32 equals an array of 0, dot, dot, 1. So if we say 0 to 1, that should only give us the first element. So it should just be 1. Submit. Ta-da! Yeah. Each element and table can be different data types, just like arrays are fixed length. Okay. First, I need a drink. This is basically like an object. Yeah, we're like 16% of the way through. I'm probably going to go live for another, like, I don't know, probably until we finish this. And then I'll be live again tomorrow. Let's see here. They're fixed length, but they can have multiple different types of elements, which is kind of like an object in Typescript or JavaScript. By using the word let followed by the name and then enclosing the values within parentheses. The syntax below defines a tuple without specifying the type. However, the compiler can infer the types, which is always nice. So this is a string, this is a character, this is an integer. And then we can define it by using specific data type as the variables. Okay, so colon and then what it is. There's a reason why you chose this course, why you preferred this course versus the Rust book. I Googled Rust free course and then this came up. So no. To be technically, no. I literally just Googled a course and looked for one that wasn't a video course, and here's where we're at. Versus like learning the book version. I could do that. Is this free? Yes, this is indeed free. Learn Rust from scratch. Yeah, this is free. They have like an advanced course, which is paid for, but this is 100% free. They have a bunch of free courses, actually. Before we like continue on, I was actually kind of impressed. If you go to like, I think just like their homepage or something. Yeah, they have like Perl, which like only I write Perl these days. And then like a bunch of other stuff like Dart and Scalar and chatbots with Python and a bunch of stuff that's free. And then they have some courses that you pay for. Like I think you just pay for like a subscription and you get the rest for free. But yeah, it's not too bad. I mean, the overall course is like pretty good. So it definitely hasn't been terrible. It's got a nice pace to it. It definitely like seems to be pretty decent. There's someone in my YouTube chat that like writes for us, so like I get some extra input. It's been pretty good. Unlike arrays, which use square braces for access to element, you just do the dot operator. So like blah dot index value. To get individuals out, you can use pattern matching to destructure a value like this. Let person equals Alex 4835 kg and 6 feet tall. Then we can do this, which is terrible, but that's fine. W, X, Y, and Z, and that would be Alex 48 as the personal data. Okay. So you do person data dot and then the number, or you can do it this way. Yeah, that you. Do you have ideas what you'll be building after learning Rust? Yeah, something in TypeScript. Like, I'm doing Rust or Bust just to learn Rust for fun. I probably won't ever do anything else outside of that. To be fair, maybe I will, maybe I won't. I don't know. But for the most part, like, I'm still building 2 devs, 1 editor. So, like, that's going to take up time. I also have a project with another Twitch streamer that I need to start, which is something else that I can't really talk about right now, but it's not like it's not, what's the word I'm looking for? It's not in the tech space, so it's actually a Twitch streamer that's in gaming, but like, yeah, we might be doing something together. Hey, my FOSS-bot actually did something useful. How to make it mutable? You just use this lovely keyword again, and then you can change the values by just modifying. Got it. And then the whole, using the debug trait, you can print everything out. Okay. Which of the following statements is not true? This. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me just reset this quiz. Because it says on specifically up here, and I was like, okay, that means I should never have to worry about this. It's fine. 1, 3, 2, 4. 1, 3, 2, 4. Done. Ta-da! All right, there we go. All right, I think that's where we're going to stop it for today. It was good. It was fun. I had a good time. I'm too clever. I'm too clever for the quizzes. That's right. I'll be back again tomorrow. We'll do some more Rust. We're going to do Rust until this is over. So we're like 20% of the way through. In theory, that means we'll be done by Thursday/Friday, which will be my last day of streaming for the week. If you did enjoy the content, make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel because we got tutorials coming out twice a week. We got shorts, we got lives, we got all the thing. What do you think about Ruby on Rails? Ruby on Rails is fucking lit. I feel like you're foolish if you don't try Ruby on Rails like one time in your life. There is a lot of stuff built in the industry on Ruby on Rails, and people miss out. Do I have any suggestions for learning TypeScript from zero? Yes. There is a TypeScript course. I'm just going to open Twitter and hope for the best. By Matt Peacock, right? Nope. That's not his name. It's called TypeScript. TypeScript. That is his name. Am I crazy? Yeah, okay. I was spelling his last name wrong. My bad. Okay. There is a course called Total TypeScript, which is basically a comprehensive production-grade TypeScript training by Matt. He used to work at Vercel. He now doesn't do it. He now is full-time on this, and he has 2 free tutorials right now. The beginning of TypeScript, which gives you 18 exercises. They're super good. They're really in-depth. They do a lot of stuff. Like, basically, it's like everything from like this to everything. Basically, you just need to know JavaScript. And you can just use like getpod to learn everything. And then his second thing is on Zod, which is like, it's really good. So just try this. It's called Total Typescript. Totally worth it. When he does his actual full main course, I'll definitely be checking it out. Even though I know TypeScript, Matt is an incredible teacher. He's done a lot of stuff. Really, really like it. So that is my advice for TypeScript. Other than that, just like build something that you have in JavaScript and just turn it into TypeScript. You'll figure it out as you go along. It's not as crazy as people think it is. It's just like, I think people, yeah, it's free right now. Like his tutorials are free. It's like 18 exercises. You click this button and then there's like video that Matt has done. Plus like you can read the transcripts and then there's like code over here and then a challenge. It's a whole bunch of stuff. Basically like it starts with like how to migrate from this to this. It's really cool. Check it out. It's definitely worth it. Let me just W out of that. Yeah, it's definitely worth it. It's called, yeah, Total TypeScript. Yeah, Total TypeScript. It looks like this. Super cool. Totally worth it. Free tutorials. There's like 18 exercises and then 10 on Zod. Definitely worth checking it out. But with that being said, this is the end of the stream. Thank you for everybody who came out today. It has been nice to be back and streaming. I'll be live again tomorrow. We've got videos coming out tomorrow. A whole bunch of stuff. And I hope that you enjoyed it. And until next time, see ya.